One of the most frustrating parts in trying to get better at golf is spending some time on the driving range and really feel like you're improving your golf, and then you go to the golf course and you're playing around and you're hitting different clubs, and it seems like everything that you worked on the driving range isn't transferring to on the course. Here is a drill that I love to do on the range that can really help you transfer what you're working on the range onto the course. Essentially, all I'm doing here on the driving range is playing simulated holes. So just make up a number, make up a par. So for this shot here, I'm hitting driver on an imaginary 400-yard par 4, and then I'm just going to continue to play out the hole. What this is going to force me to do is hit a plethora of different shots, focus on my pre-shot routine, focus on my alignment, my target selection, and that way I'm going to be using this exact skills that I'll be using on the golf course. Now, obviously, this is not going to be a perfect simulation. I'm estimating that I hit that driver on 270 yards, so now I'm going to turn over to my next club, and I'm going to be hitting a pitching wedge in. And this is great because when you think about what you do on the driving range, you generally hit 8 7-irons in a row. Then you hit a bunch of 3-woods in a row. You're not really going through your pre-shot routine. But what this is going to force you to do is hit different clubs. As you can see here, I'm going through my pre-shot routine for every single golf shot, just as you should on the golf course. I'm focusing on my alignment, and I'm doing everything I would on the golf course. I'm just doing it on the range. So here I'm hitting my pitching wedge, and I have a nice swing on the golf ball, so I'm going to assume that that gets on the green. Now, from the green, you obviously can't really do much putting when you're on the driving range, and that's fine. Work on your putting and chipping after these full swings and after this simulated holes drill, but it's just a very nice way to become more comfortable over the ball. I understand that so much of the golf swing is technically focused. You want to be thinking of the mechanics of the swing, but also just becoming more comfortable over the golf ball. Having a pre-shot routine you can turn to, knowing how to choose your targets. All of that is super helpful. So now I'm switching up holes here. This was just a basic 175-yard shot, so I took a 7-iron and just took a little bit off of it. I focused on knocking it down because I really like to play with different shot trajectories and feel very creative with these swings. Like I said earlier, when you're on the range, a lot of people will just take out their 9-iron and they'll hit 10 stock 9-iron shots. But in reality, how often are we really faced with the exact stock shot that we have to hit our 9-iron? It's not very often at all, and that's fine. So let's work on maybe hitting it a couple yards further, a couple yards shorter. Maybe you need to get around a tree and hit a big fade. Whatever it is, just work on a plethora of shots and play yourself through a few holes. I'm sure a lot of you have a home golf course or a golf course that you know well. Imagine yourself on certain holes there. For me personally, my home course, I know that there's a few holes that I really don't like, and I need to work on those shots. Here I have a 3-wood, and I'm just trying to get that out there about 240, 250 yards. And working different flights. If you have a fade and you want to be working a draw, pick a spot where there's maybe a tree line and say, I'm going to draw this off of that imaginary tree line, and then focus on the draw, commit to it, but do not repeat shots here. It's very important that we're going from driver swing to iron swing, 3-wood swing to wedge swing, long iron, short iron. Having that adaptability and being able to hit different shots on command is very, very valuable. I find that oftentimes spending time on the range does feel very monotonous, and it can certainly get boring. I really like this because you're always switching things up, you're turning to different shots, and I have seen a lot of improvement in my game based on the work that I do on the range simulating holes. So I'd love to hear your feedback on this. If you haven't tried it, please try it and let me know how it goes. If you have already tried it, leave it in the comment section below how you like to experiment with it, different shots you hit, different things that you like to feel. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.